Javelins, freelancers, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another report from Anthem Universe. I am but one of your hosts, Ogaz, and today I want to talk about the Interceptor build that Mike Gamble was brandishing awesomely in the most recent stream, and in particular some of the numbers. So I thought maybe we'll do a quick analysis, talk about the weapons, the gear, and the cooldown times a little bit, and of course what we saw from the ultimate. Now, as you may know, of course, this was the stronghold mission called Temple of the Scars. I will say that Anthem Universe have been fortunate enough to play this particular mission, and it is everything that you saw. Now, of course, the build of Mike Gamble was run on normal difficulty, which is essentially what is freelancer. So you might have noticed the guys on the stream keep saying easy, normal, or hard. Now, what they're actually meaning, of course, is Lancer, Freelancer, and Master. So when they say normal, that basically means the second level that you can automatically unlock, and that is called the Freelancer level. So these guys are running at the second highest level that you can run at the beginning of the game. So their gear, in terms of their javelins, were at level 20. So their javelins were running at a level 20 javelin. They mentioned it's about 3/4 of the way through the primary game. So that gives you an idea for their progression, where they were. Now, they were running on 3 players, so just a bit of a heads up, not 4. Now, the usual requirement for a stronghold is, of course, 4, but of course, BioWare were just running some magic so that they could fit 3 people on the same camera in that stronghold. And I have seen that little bit of magic. It's a UI. It's like playing God. But anyway, of course, the Interceptor we saw was loaded up with the Legion of Dawn armor, which is sexy and hot as hell. The Interceptor earned 850 XP by the end of it, and along the process earned a Legionnaire medal along with 2,850 more XP just for the troubles. Now, there were 10 stages in total that Interceptor completed, and we'll talk about those in a separate video. The ultimates were leveraged 3 times across the activity, and the melee was probably about 75% of the activity. Now, if you watch it closely, Mike is brandishing 2 weapons, a pistol and a double-barrel shotgun, but it's quite apparent, as you see, the build is definitely geared to melee, and not just that, but Mike is definitely going hard with the melee function here as everyone else starts to get their hands on the Interceptor. Now, elsewhere, of course, you would have seen the somersault double jump, which we've seen previously, and of course the dash. And the dash, of course, allows the Interceptor to glide quickly and briskly across the game world, and of course that means it's very useful, for example, for picking up things during certain missions. Now, elsewhere we saw the 3 gear pieces. Now, as we know, every javelin is equipped with 3 gear slots. Now, the Interceptor had 3 elements here. The first was the Shuriken Stars. Now, I noticed they had a cooldown of about 6 to 7 seconds on its recharge, and they are sequential. So essentially you can still keep pumping those out as they gradually recharge, but of course the full recharge from Woe to Go with this level 20 Interceptor was taking about 6 to 7 seconds to recharge. The Gear 2 was a Poison Grenade. Now that took about 7 seconds to recharge, and of course that was used relatively frequently by Mike along with the Stars. Now, Gear 3, I didn't see Mike use this as much. Now, go through the video and see, but it was very rarely used. Now, Gear 3 is basically a damage amplifier. Now, if you look closely, what it's actually doing is that once it's activated, it amplifies any damage that that target receives. So, I don't know, personally, it's not a very exciting one. It's a very team-centric skill, of course, but no doubt is a very important gear ability that is relevant there for the Interceptor. The ultimate regen. How long did it take the ultimate to regen? 3 minutes and 35 seconds. From Woe to Go, we saw 3 minutes and 35 seconds for the regen to occur on the ultimate. Now, of course, these are all just numbers based on the current build. No doubt these will vary based on the inscriptions on weapons, and of course the components that are going to be loaded on into these weapons by the player. And the gear. Remember, all these elements will have impact on your final build. So at this stage, it was just a bit of an insight to see how that build is progressing. Elsewhere, we saw the Interceptor increase its XP in-game, so at about the 38-minute mark here, you'll see things like the Weak Point Striker and Gear Master awards suddenly appear, and no doubt they will then, of course, tally up at the end of the Stronghold. Some community members mentioned that during the stream, Mike might have been a little bit rough around the edges, running into walls and doing a few other things. I think maybe keep it in focus for a little bit on that. There was a few moments quite specifically where he was focusing in on John's Storm and on Ben's Colossus for that effect. Once again, though, I like this honesty and transparency. It's actually quite refreshing to hear Ben, John, and Mike actually streaming. It feels like, you know, they're not driving channel count, or they're not provoking donations or something like that. It feels very transparent and honest. So I'm really enjoying these streams. Hopefully we can see more of those in the new year. And that's about all in terms of the Interceptor build. Shout out in the comments, let us know what you enjoyed about the Interceptor build. Hopefully this has been a bit of an insight for you, and we'll leave it at that. I am Elgaz. This is Anthem Universe. Javelins, freelancers. We will see you next over the wall.
As you would call them, goblets.
Goblets.
There's
some goblets over here.